Hey kids, welcome back to my channel. It's your favorite vino blogger Lele Zondani, and I'm so excited to be back on your screen today. If you're new to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe, and if you're a returning subscriber, please don't forget to like, comment, and share this video with as many people as you can. So as you can see by the title of this video today, we're going to be learning everything we need to know about dessert wine. So what is dessert wine? Dessert wine is just wine that you can enjoy with any type of dessert that you feel. It doesn't have to be necessarily dessert. It can also be with certain types of food that is high in sugar. So the types you get are Madeira, sherry, late harvest, and port. And late harvest is one that's like high in alcohol. They're all made in different ways. Late harvest is just grapes have been left on the vine for a very long time that create, then the alcohol and the sugar content gets really high. Fortified wines are just then wines that have been added with the spirit, so it can be cognac or brandy, and it gives off like this really like strong and rich flavor to it, but at the same time because it's been made through the process of a dessert wine. Sometimes winemakers add sugar. Sometimes the fermentation process is halved. It is like halfway. So let's say normally a wine, let's say for that type of brand, a wine will, I don't know, age their wine for, let's say, 12 months, an example. So when it comes to dessert wine, they'll ferment it for 6 months. This is also the same for some box wines that are a little bit sweeter, on the sweeter side as well. But yeah, that's basically how it is. So today we're going to be trying the Landskroon dessert wine. Let's get into it. Let's get it out. But this is it, as you can see by the label right there, Landskroon Cape Vintage 2019. This is the lid. It comes with a little cork. I wish all wines came with this type of thing. It wasn't just dessert wine, but I think because it's dessert wine, it's not a wine that you can just drink like casually, because it's so sweet and it's so rich and strong. So the wine we're trying today is a fortified wine. Am I correct? Yeah, it is. It is a fortified wine. Into it. That's how it looks. It's nice and red. It's beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Why do we serve dessert wine in these little glasses? The reason being is because dessert wine is the tequila of wine. I'm joking. It's not. The only reason why is because obviously like there's so much high alcohol content in dessert wine that we serve it in these little glasses with the rim more closer than it is here at the bottom, so it gets like narrower as it goes up so that the alcohol doesn't evaporate from the glass. What cultivar is in it? The cultivar is like which types of grapes are in it. So we have Tinta Barroca, Sozao, Toriga Nacional, Tinta Amarela. Yeah. So 67%, 14%, 11%, 8% of all of that. And these are basically just Portugal grapes, sorry. And they are very much used in dessert wines mostly. I barely ever see these type of grapes in like normal wines or whatever. I'm sure in Portugal they do add them in other types of wine, maybe to sweeten up a little bit or whatever, but these types of grapes are most definitely only used in dessert wines. Shall we just get to the tasting? Let's smell it. It smells very like cherry-like. Like I'm getting very cherry. I'm getting like a smokiness to it. I'm getting like a spicy, like a more of like a pepper type of spicy, and then like a smokiness and like a cherry like flavor, like smell. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, that's what I'm getting. Let's have a taste. Very, very sweet, obviously. But it's at the same time, it's not giving that sweetness. You know, when it turns into like it feels like very syrupy, and it feels like very thick, and then it leaves like so much phlegm in your throat. It's not giving me that. It's like very like, it's rich, of course. The body's like heavy, but it's like medium to heavy, and it's like, but there's so much flavoring to it instead of like this burst of like alcohol. Because it's a fortified wine, a lot of the times you will just get like that cognac brandy flavor to it. I am still getting that, but it's not so, you know, overpowering, if that makes sense. I don't know how to put it in words. It's like, it's smoky, but in a way it's like, it's very like, it's like an undertone, if I can say. It's like a smokiness, but it's very subtle, and it's like, I don't know, it gives it like a character to it. It gives like a really nice, beautiful character to it. So because dessert wine is for dessert, obviously, I'm gonna pair this dessert wine with these beautiful dark chocolate cherry little chocolates right here that I have. So dessert wine pairs really, really well with dark chocolate, if you didn't know. So if you're not really a fan of dark chocolate or whatever, like, definitely try drinking it with dessert wine and tell me what you think, because I think that's literally one of the best pairings you could ever do for yourself, is do a dessert wine and dark chocolate. Together they pair like impeccably well. This is exactly why I'm probably gonna stay thick in this industry, because child, we just be eating. We be eating all the time. Okay, so this is how it looks, and then let's try it. I'm gonna take a bite. Let's have a sip. Oh, that's lovely. It brings it out. It brings out like the sweetness of it, because a lot of this wine has been like really rich and heavy and strong and dominant. Do you know what I'm saying? But now, like, paired with like dark chocolate, it's been like really like, you know, the sweetness. I think the sweetness of both have just complemented each other in a way that I didn't really expect. Yeah, I actually really like this. Yeah, this is probably the best pairing I've ever done. It's absolutely amazing. I feel like I can finally taste all the flavors. I can taste the cherries. I can taste the fruits. I can taste the sweetness. The sweetness has come out a lot more than it was before, because before it was like really heavy, strong. All I got was basically like the fortified wine, like brandy or the cognac, whatever they used to mix and to make it what it was. Like the spirit of it is what I really got from the beginning. But now I feel like, yes, it's still sweet, but it's like, it's more complementary. Like it makes more sense like put together than it did like alone and apart. Yeah, so, but I think that's the whole point of like dessert wine, is for it to be experienced with food, and to complement the food, and to complement as well the wine. I'm not a fan of dark chocolate because I think it's way too heavy, it's too rich, it's too strong. But paired together, I actually really, really like it, and I feel like I could enjoy this like so much. I feel like I could enjoy this, and I could continue eating this, and you know, just having this casually for sure. I think something that like is a misconception when it comes to dessert wine is that it's all red wine. It's not. You can get a white grape dessert wine, you can get a sparkling, you can get a still, you can get a sweet, you can get a dry red, you can get a dry dessert wine. My bad. You just have to do your research, I guess. And then when you go shopping and things like that for like wines, like definitely ask the person who's there, or where the selections of dessert wines are, whatever. If you're having a dinner party, this is a great way of impressing your guests with your desserts and whatever. Because I think it's something that's very forgotten in the wine industry. Like, there's so much variety in the wine industry, especially like when it comes to food and wine pairing. Like, there's a whole section of dessert wine that people haven't really tapped into. I do want to see more brands tapping into that. I would love to see that and people get creative with it, because I think it's definitely a wine that there's no rules when it comes to it. There's like so much you could do with it. I really think there's so much you can do, and the flavoring is literally limitless, because there's no right or wrong to it. It can be really strong, it can be really sweet, it can be really light, it can be really heavy. It's up to you. And obviously it depends on what you're pairing it with, and if it'll like integrate beautifully and like dance together in a way that's like absolutely beautiful and like so seamless, and all of that great stuff. But just do your research next time you go shopping. You don't have to buy one, but if you can, definitely do so and experiment with it. And like just go, when you next time you go wine shopping, just like ask where it is, just look at what's out there. If you can, look out for Landskroon as well, and just from this video, and just be like, oh yeah, I saw this from Lele's video, oh my gosh. And like tag us and whatever, like, oh yeah, watch the video, I know all about this now, blah 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 blah. And yeah, and that's pretty much it when it comes to dessert wine. It's definitely, I think, something you should definitely try. It'll literally take your dessert to that top notch, trust me, and you will impress people, and you'll probably impress your own palate. This is really, really good when it comes to like training your palate into different wines and textures and tastes and all of that. I was very scared of it when I started. I was extremely scared of it because I was just like, this is a lot. It's very overwhelming. But as you go, you get pretty much used to it. It's not definitely a wine that I taste very often, or I come across very often when I go out or whatever. But I do think that it's something that should be introduced to tastings, especially at these wine estates and everything. Like, I do think people should really introduce dessert wine and have it part of like a tasting, because I know people will do like a white wine and a red wine and probably an MCC, and that'll be it. But I do think that dessert wine should be something that's implemented, because it's I think it's a good thing to educate your customers and your fans and all of that on what's so much out there. That's why people come to tasting, is to educate themselves as to and to just see what's out there and what's about wine and whatever. So yeah, to all the wine brands, all the wine estates, please do introduce dessert wines to your tastings, please. So another thing, the last thing I'll say, I will answer, because I know this is a question as well. Why is dessert wine so sweet? The reason why it's so sweet is because of the sugar that is left after fermentation. So the more sugar, obviously the more sweet, the less, the drier it is. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And if it's like super sweet, obviously you know that during the fermentation process they left a lot of sugar. And there is a certain times where winemakers will add sugar, but in some regions this is illegal. I'm not sure if this is illegal in South Africa, in Stellenbosch, or in the Western Cape. I'm not too quite sure, but I do know that in some wine regions it is illegal to add sugar to your dessert wine, and they mostly prefer it being naturally fermented and for it to come out the way that dessert wine comes out through natural processes. And that's pretty much it. And yeah, and that's all you there is really to dessert wine. If you guys want to know more and have any more questions, please comment below and I will make sure I answer them and I give you my best advice and everything. And if you have any other questions when it comes to wine or want to know anything else or any other topic or any other type of wine, please comment below on what other type of wines you would like to know about, and I could definitely do a video on it. And yeah. Thank you so much to Landskroon for sending me this beautiful dessert wine. I'm absolutely loving it and I absolutely can't wait for other people to talk about it, and I hope that it succeeds and it gets all the accolades and everything and everybody talks about it, because it's really, really good. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you want to know more about dessert wine or you want to know where you can get this and how much it is, please check the description below. Thank you so much guys for watching this video. If you have learned something, please do tell me in the comments below. If you want to learn more about other topics when it comes to wine, please let me know as well in the comments below. Thank you so much. You know what we said at the end. Happy Wine Wednesday, kids.